Hey guys, Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training and Puppy. This is the larger of the two. The runt's still back in there. I decided I'm going to bring them out this morning, get them into their harnesses. I'll start driving them around a little bit and see if I can get them out. I don't feel real comfortable taking them out in public until they're about 12 weeks of age. They'll get another shot then, and then I think they're pretty much safe at that point. With some caution, obviously. You got to always be aware and cognizant of the fact you got a young life. But it's my philosophy and my attitude is you either have a brain dead dog or a dead dog, right? So I'll take the risk on the dead dog just because you need to get this environmental, you need to get this exposure out. Very important. If you miss these critical development periods, it always is going to affect you. It's not something you can't overcome, but you're always going to be affected by it. The dog's going to be different. If you start working the dog as young as possible, doing the right things, you're on your way. So we're going to do a little click treat this morning. We're going to keep that up. And like I said, this is the bigger of the two. He's got some nice coloring on the head. See that little gold on the head? Yeah, you are. Yeah, and he's nice size. And he's got all the good stuff. Yeah. All right, so let's work him a little bit. And he's a little bit too small to jump here, but he might surprise me in the next few days. He might start taking a leap and jump all the way up there, right? Good boy, good. There it is, just a little bit of a back leg. Yeah, and I'll help him, there we go. Because it's always easier, down is always easier than up, okay? So when you get the down part of it, it gives the dog a lot of confidence because he knows he can get down and he's not afraid of it anymore, and they'll jump up a lot easier, right? This is with young puppies and young dogs and development of agility and getting them to understand their body and their timing on jumping. And it's like eye and hand coordination. They've got to have the right timing to jump up on things. If they don't, they're going to flop on the rear. Good dog. Yeah. Nope. Now what I'm trying to catch now is, you notice he's jumping on me all the time. Let's see if I can do some basic work to teach him not to jump up just by ignoring the other behavior and clicking when he's down in a calm position. So I'll only reward when he's in a calm position is the idea. Good. So he learns to mellow out, right? A lot of times with puppies, you just gotta wait. Patience, right? And I'm trying to give him the idea that click, it means the treat is coming. And we'll keep that up for a while until I know he's got the idea and the concept has been conveyed to the animal, right? Just ignore the behavior when he jumps on you. As he gets a little older, you can even do things like turning your back on him, all kinds of little things. Robbing him of the reward is probably their first exposure to a negative, right? Then you can start combining it with a no. And the way I treat a no marker is that it's just a matter of looking at it in your mental mind frame that he didn't do it the right way, you need to do it again. Instead of a correction, your normal reaction as a human being is to correct with aggression. No! Knock it off, okay? And I want you to think of the no as nothing more as you didn't do it right, do it again. And come back at it again. Now notice I even stopped my mouth and my chatter. We'll help him a little bit. He was getting distracted with another dog over here. There he goes, he's trying, right? All right, so now we're gonna get rid of the table. We're gonna work on little bulls. Now keep in mind, this is all about the powers of 2s and 3s. We do things in patterns, right? So I'll bring in the bull, then I might bring out a sack. And you'll notice that I'll do 2 or 3 things and that'll be it. There was one person that asked a good question. How long do you work a young puppy like that? Now they said, how long do you work a young Dutch Shepherd puppy like this? Well, reality and truth is dogs are dogs. We don't do anything different than a Dutch Shepherd. The only difference is drive state, right? The drive levels are a lot different. The genetic stamp's a lot different as far as what they have tendencies to do. I'll give you a good example of that about genetic stamp. I've had several Dutch Shepherds, right? This is my breed of choice. One thing I notice that they do, and it's a genetic stamp, is if you have a bull in the kennel, a lot of times they'll start barking at that bull and they'll go crazy. What is that? That's that box barking at the box, right? They bred it into the animals, and the dog has a natural tendency to get into that burt, 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 and try messing with that object that's on the ground, right? They do it just instinctively. Now, I'm not going to say all of them would do it, but it's a very common trait to see, and that's a good example of genetic stamp. All right? In Schutzen, they breed the dogs to bite way back in the back of the mouth, and they look for dogs that are going to have the tendency because they're not worried, but they're aware of and want grips, is what they call it. They want the dog to be biting way back in the molars and have a nice grip. And that's a genetic trait based on how long they've been doing it, what they're looking for in the dogs. And I didn't give a click on that one. It's not going to break the bank. Good. And all I'm doing is trying to get him to jump on these bowls. Notice now he knows that there's a positive thing with this association. You see the association? Now he's not shirking at all. He sees this move and he dives into that hand. Very natural thing. Let's see if you guys are on camera here. Nope. Let me back these up. You're missing the show. And one more gander at the camera. All right, there we go. Let's move that a little bit. All right, now we got a good view. All right, so back to this. Every now and then my clicker gets stuck. There it is. You want that double click, right? Yeah, there you go. By pushing it in and letting it go right away, you get a double click. And it's always a consistent sound for them. And this is the first association with positive, starting on the click tree, which will turn into our marker word, which will be yes later on. And all this does is mean basically you've done the right thing, right? Good. And this is the larger of the guys. I'm going to use some spatial pressure, see if I can get him to step. Even one little step is good enough. Good. Now, what I did right there is I had it locked in my hand. His nose, he knows it's there. He wants it, he wants it, he wants it. And then I time it with a click, and then I let it go, right? So that timing is involved with when he gets the reward in association with what you want, what you're after, right? And in this case, I was after to see if I get him to. Good. Now we're done with that. So back to that question of how long do you work a dog? And a puppy like this, short and sweet, okay? We're just done and over with. And I might do 2 or 3 things, so it makes it a little longer out here, but I'm doing things that are going to stimulate the brain, and it's not always going to be the same thing. The whole time the dog's going to get bored. And we keep it short and sweet, it's done, it's over with, put them away. It could be 3 minutes, it could be 1 minute for that matter, okay? 3 to 5 would probably be a good session. 10 minutes would be stretching it, right? But at the same time, I might get to that if the dog starts to show me that he's learning. We're always doing it, we're just learning to learn. And as the learning comes together, that's what I'm doing. I'm working this muscle of the brain. And that's what it's all about, because how you associate that towards learning is what's going to make the difference. I've got a guy that bought Daisy, which is my pick of litter for the last litter, and she was a female. And I worked her and imprinted her all through that time period of being a puppy and put a lot of work into her. And then she got kind of stuck on the back burner, and he mentioned that he might like to have her if she was available. Well, at that time, I said, all right, what the heck, I'll go ahead and sell her. And he loves her. And the trainer is just amazed on how fast she learns, how smart she is. It's that imprint that makes a difference, okay? Teaching the dog to learn is the key, right? And setting up that communication baseboard in the very beginning and how you do things is what's going to make the difference. All right, let me go ahead and put him away. Actually, let me do a little sack. So I ended on the sack play. Notice the noise stimulation. They'll get used to that noise and they'll start coming into that because it means something to them. I don't use it most of the time, unless I'm going in a drive. He's chasing. I'm trying to get the dog to go, but that's a very common sound for me to make. Those little waggy lips, right? There's a kissy sound. We do a lot of that with young puppies. Yay! As they get older, we want to stop that as much. Good boy, good. That's a boy, good. That's a boy, good boy. All right, good boy, good. There you go. Good boy, yay. So we've had 3 things. We did the bowls, we did the table, and we did the sack. Good boy. And we did a quick treat. Association towards the sound, right? And each one of them was a short and sweet little session. So keep it in mind. Mark Ferrasci, Protect Dog Training. I'm going to go get the run out, and we'll do another video with the run.